Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Thoughtfully Made Fiber podcast. This is episode 3. I'm your host, Aimee, and I'm recording in sunny Southern California on March 21st, 2021. This is a fiber podcast where I normally come to talk about sustainable making, where I thoughtfully curate fabrics, fibers, and yarns, and all kinds of things and patterns. I'm also the host of a knit-along that's running right now called the Knit Diverse Knit-along. But I gotta say, recording this week is really, really hard. Really hard. By now you've probably heard of the violent Atlanta shooting. And I just want to say before we get started that I have compiled a list of resources for you. Maria at Woolen Forest has put together a wonderful list of resources. I will be linking that below, as well as the verified GoFundMes of the victims and their families. At the end of this video, I'll also be talking more about our diverse knit-along and how we'll be modifying some of our giveaway formats and adding to it to support the fight against violence against our community. I'll probably turn a lot of people off with this intro, but honestly, this podcast is very much about my identity and experiences as an Asian American person who is an immigrant, who is queer, who is non-binary. My experiences around race and gender cannot be separated from my craft. Last episode, I wanted to intentionally bring in a little bit of my experiences by sharing a little music and a little story about my family history and craft. But that doesn't happen in a vacuum, right? Like my stories around crafts last week, which I'll also link below, about how I didn't know my grandma was such a prolific crafter. What I left out of that narrative is that my family immigrated. My immediate family immigrated when I was very, very young, and I never got to see my grandma doing all those crafts growing up as a young person. So that's kind of the context that some of these stories that I share comes from, and I just felt that it was really important to address that craft is linked to identity. You cannot unlink them. And with that said, I selected some things that I'm working on this week to share with you in the spirit of craft and context, but I'll also be linking resources below for those who want to know. So let's get to it. The first thing I want to share with you is some of my cast-ons and works in progress. The first one is in this beautiful bag, this cherry project bag. I actually received this as a gift from Hikari of Hikari Handmaids, who I'll link below. They reached out to ask if they can donate some prizes for the Knit Diverse Knit-along, and she kindly sent me something for me too, and it's so beautiful, y'all. It's a little simple double-layered drawstring bag, but it's like fully interfaced. So the canvas is very sturdy and stands up on its own really well. You can see that here. Here we go. It's got this muslin canvasy situation with the drawstring, and it's really lovely. Little quote label here. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Here we go. And then on the inside, there is a D-ring, and I'll just insert some footage here. But in this project bag, I have a little dahlia sweater that I'm working on. So in my effort to knit up the superwash yarns in my stash, I decided to use this one skein of a Christmas colorway from Woolberry Fiber Co. I'll talk a little about the yarn too. This colorway was from the North Pole sock set, and I had 104 grams of this beautiful sock yarn. It is merino and nylon. Oh my goodness, I don't know how to YouTube. It is merino and nylon. Focus. There we go. It's green with all these beautiful speckles in it. And I wanted to make a one skein project. So I started this little dahlia, which has beautiful lace panel, lace yoke actually. And it's knit on tiny needles, US 3. So the top version of this cardigan, or of this pattern set, requires 100 grams. So I thought that maybe I could eke out like slightly longer sleeves using that. So I did. What I did was I knit the body all the way to the bottom as written, and as you can see, it's having some hem issues. It's flipping up quite a bit. The pattern instructions tell you to increase. It was like knit 8, make 1 or something like that, all the way around at the hem before the rib, and that made it flip up. And even as I was doing the instructions, I was like, this is gonna flip, and it did. So I reknit it without the increases, and it's still flipping. And this hem is already being knit on US 1.5 needles, so I really think I'm gonna have to go down to US 0. I tested that out. I decided to just leave the hem for now and test out my theory using the sleeve. And you can see here, I've knit the sleeve. There you go. I've knit the sleeve on size US 0, and it's still quite stretchy. I did a stretchy sewn bind off, but then now I don't like the sleeve length. So what I did was I knit the whole body as written, and then I split the ball that was left in half, and I knit basically until I ran out. Here. And then with like 1 gram to spare. So I think I split it by weight in half, and knit until 1 gram left basically before binding off. And I don't like the length. This is in size 24 months, and I have tried it on the baby, and it does not look good. I think this sleeve is quite roomy, and it's meant to go all the way down, full length sleeve. I knit the sweater version, and I just kept knitting until I ran out, and then I did the rib. So that is a puzzler. I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. I think what I'm gonna do is rip back the rib, and instead of doing the ribbing, I'm gonna fade in another color like a sock scrap and just keep going to the end of the sleeve. Knit as written. So I lost this round of yarn chicken very thoroughly. I'm just not happy with the plan, which was to use up every bit of yarn. So I'll try to find a scrap that kind of goes. It's more important to me to have a practical garment than have like a purely this color garment, even though this is a beautiful color. So that's kind of what I've been working on this past week. And it's housed in this beautiful bag by Hikari, who I will link, whose Etsy shop I will link below. Actually, this bag just made me feel so moved because I think it arrived on Monday or Tuesday, and even on the darkest days this week, I've been really moved by little physical reminders of the way that the Asian American and Pacific Islander community has really come together for this knit along. So I'm grateful for that. I'm really grateful for that. It's a beautiful bag. Check out her shop. Yeah. The second thing I wanted to share with you that is a whip is a secret test knit, but I can show you just like a little bit of it. I can show you the yarn. So this is some yarn that I have spun up from Inglenook Fibers. Let's see if I can show it. There we go. Come on. Focus. Focus. There we go. With the handmade tag I made for it. This is one of the very first skeins that I spun up. This is one of the mill blends from Inglenook Fibers. This is called Moon Rooms, and it's inspired by the moon rooms in Lord of the Rings. Beautiful fiber. It is 45% polyester, 25% silk, 15% Gotland, 10% tweed blend, and 5% stellina. So it has glitter in it. And normally I don't really go for glitter and this much plastic in my fibers, but I want to try out Inglenook Fibers, and their normal hand-dyed braids are quite hard to get your hands on. And I really wanted to try something out from them, so I purchased this mill blend, and it spun up like this. I actually got 8 ounces of it, so here's the other 4. And I am doing a secret test knit for it. With it. It's going to be really lovely. I spun it up kind of a DK sport weight, intending to make a shawl with it, but I wasn't sure which which shawl pattern to use with it. And one of the designers that I follow and am on the test pool list for that is loud. One of the designers that I follow and am in the test knitting pool for reached out about a pattern, and I can show you just kind of, stitches falling off, just kind of the start of it. So it looks like this so far. It's just a bit of garter. There we go. And I'm really liking how this fabric is knitting up. It's squishy and sturdy, and I think that might be the Gotland part that's like giving it this really lovely, the Gotland and the silk I think is giving it that beautiful drape and sheen. So I'm really looking forward to knitting it up. The fun thing about spinning is that you never really know how your yarn is going to knit up until you do it, because every skein is so unique. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. I can't show the pattern yet, but I can show you a little bit of it. Alright, so I only have one finished project to share this week, and it is this skein of yarn. Oh, that's loud. This skein of hand spun is kind of a mess, actually. It looks kind of messy. This is the first thing I ever spun after picking up spinning again. I learned to spin at a Stitches event in a little 30-minute group workshop using a student drop spindle, and it was quite heavy, so I purchased recently, I think this is back in the summer, a lighter spindle from Ashford, and I spun up this beauty here. The fiber is Falkland Merino from Greenwood Fiberworks, and this is in the colorway Harvest. So I think I actually ordered Arizona, but this is what got here, and I literally, like, as I was searching up all the item names for this episode, I realized they sent me the wrong color, but I don't mind. It's so beautiful. It's got like greens and yellows and oranges. Yeah. So I basically spun it from end to end on a spindle, and then I applied it on a spindle. And it was skeined up actually on my Swift, on my umbrella Swift, which is why it's quite uneven. Like, it's not very well arranged. So I hope to get a bigger niddy knotty, because this is like 108 grams, quite a bit. I need to get a new niddy knotty because mine is the short one. I think only 2 feet or 2 yards. So yeah, there's lots of mistakes. Lots of broken bits and ends in here, and I'm still trying to work out what to make with it, because I spun it pretty much just to learn, and there's some like really poorly plied bits. but I still want to use all my hand spun, so this kind of fingering sportwear yarn is something I need to figure out what to do with. So that's my finished object. It was actually kind of finished quite a while ago, but I found it again recently this week, realized I had not washed it, and I washed it, and now it's properly finished. I don't know if you considered yarns that are not washed finished, but I don't. So yeah, I set the twist and now it's actually properly finished. So there's that. Okay, so I'm gonna move on now to what I'm wearing, which I did not cover earlier in the episode, just because I forgot. So this episode is in a bit of a weird order. So what I'm wearing is a button-down shirt that I've sewn and a pinafore that I've also sewn. I'm gonna stand up so I can show you. So here is the pinafore, the bottom of it, and the length of the sleeves on the shirt. So I like to wear these two layered together. Things are warming up here. It's spring, definitively spring. Our plants are growing like weeds. And things are warming up, so I'm wearing my knits a little bit less. Most of my knits have now been washed and put away. So this outfit was sewn from this book, which is a happy sewing book. I'll link to the publisher below, but one of my favorite things to do when I visit my home country in Taiwan is purchase sewing and knitting books. And this is a Japanese pattern book which has been translated into traditional Mandarin. And here we go. And I sewed up two patterns from it. There is a lovely deep V, which I love. I think it's great for layering. I think it's definitely meant to be a layering piece from the way they style it. It looks like this in the book. So here's like a lightweight linen version of it, and here's like a heavier weight winter version of it. I think they've made it from twill or something in this version. And I really want to make it from corduroy, so that's kind of my plan for next winter. But this year I made kind of like a springy version of it. And this is Nani Idol's, oh my gosh, what is it called? This is the ripple print in their cotton sateen. And it has a beautiful little border print, so I tried to incorporate that into the way that I've cut it. And because the pattern has a center seam in it, I don't know if you can see it here, a center seam, I was able to cut the pieces utilizing the border print all the way down. And that created this really nice, like kind of almost ombre effect symmetrically. And I really quite enjoy that. And then the shirt is also Nani Iro and also from this Japanese pattern book. It has these beautiful metallic bits. This is a Nani Iro, I think it's called Temps linen. And it's got like beautiful metallic, like plant, like almost like a painted like effect on it on most of it. And most of it's obscured right now, but you can kind of see like the sheeniness of it here. Yeah, it's just like a pretty plain button down. It has a faux yoke in it, like a pretend yoke. And I made a short view of it. It looks like this in the book. And I also wear it often layered with this pinafore. So I very often wear this outfit together, and that is what I'm wearing today for this lovely spring day. I also wanted to talk about these buttons. So I purchased the buttons from, let's see, Stone Mountain. I purchased these buttons from Stone Mountain Fabrics, and I will link it below. These are beautiful mother of pearl buttons, and I just thought you can actually see the sheen. I was worried that these buttons like sheeniness would not show up. They're nice, sturdy, thick buttons, which I don't often see in mother of pearl. But I thought it would go nice with the sheeny parts of the shirt, and I'm really happy with what I've done here. I actually made this shirt as kind of a warm-up for Grand Lang Studio Archer, which I have in my stash. So I'm kind of trying to work up the courage to make the archer. My goal is to make a flannel plaid printed archer one day, because Jen's patterns are just so beautifully drafted, and I know what size fits me. Their size 2 fits me wonderfully, just right out of the packet for their other patterns. So I'm really looking, so I'm just working my courage up towards that in the future. So that is what I'm wearing today. My baby woke up, so excuse me if you can hear her in the background. My spouse is with her, so I'm going to try to get through this recording. I wanted to talk about some fibers I received from my friend Sharon. Her Instagram account is @Jomio. I wanted to highlight Sharon's fibers because while she does not sell fibers that I know of, she's another Asian American, actually Taiwanese American maker on Instagram who I've followed for quite a while. And she makes like the most beautiful things, and I didn't even know she was a spinner until I became a wheel spinner. And when I got my wheel and started to card fibers and like really deep dive into spinning, I found out that other spinners are incredibly stoked to have new spinners join their midst. And of all the fiber arts, I really feel that spinners are some of the most generous and excited to share their knowledge, and I really love that. So when Sharon saw some of my posts about hand carding and spinning, which I talked a little bit about that project, the hand carded and spun project from last episode, she decided to go deep into her stash and send me some fibers. So I received this incredible Shetland. It's a pin drafted roving. I think it's from a sheep named Godiva. Here's the tag. It's from a local-ish to me. It's from Morro Bay in California, Morro Fleece Works. And Sharon kindly split out 70 grams for me. And yeah, this is beautiful gray with like white bits running through it. Shetland wool and silk, so I think the white bits are silk. It's really beautiful. And I've never tried Shetland before, so it'll be really fun to spin it up. If anyone has any idea of what, sorry about the plastic noise, I'm trying to put it away, about what project to spin for with Shetland, or kind of like what weight to practice with, I'm all ears. I'm kind of planning to spin it kind of like a long draw for true woolen style since it is roving. Yeah. So there's that one. And then Sharon also sent me, I'm not going to really take much of it out, this beautiful baby doll South Down cross Dorset, like a South Down and Dorset cross. I'm not sure how much of this there is, but Sharon has already scoured it. I'm going to take out just a little, like a lock, so you can see it. I've been wanting to try, ooh, oh, so crimpy, so pretty. I've been wanting to try kind of like a South Down or Dorset fiber for a while because I heard that they're really good. They're like naturally felting resistant, so they're really good for socks. So here's a little lock. Sharon actually asked me what kind of fibers I wanted to try, and I said I wanted things that work with the hand carders I was borrowing. Oh, focus, here we go. Oh, so pretty. Look at that gorgeous little crap. So they sent me this, but actually I already returned my hand carders to my friend Jen, who I borrowed it from. So, so I'm gonna have to buy some carders to process this. An excuse to buy more stuff. But I think there's enough in here because I find that at least in my very limited experience hand carding, when I card things just fluff right up from locks. So this is probably going to fluff up quite a bit when I open it up to card it. I have very limited experience in that realm, so I really look forward to trying it out. And it's been scoured with something scent-free, which is very helpful for me because I have a scent sensitivity that gives me migraines. So yeah, so that's one of the other fibers that Sharon sent me. And then the last thing, which is the one I'm most excited about, let me try to open here. I have not even opened it yet. Is this gorgeous bat that Sharon carded up for me. This was carded almost a month ago now. It has 60 grams of Cordial, New Zealand Coopworth, black silk, Polworth silk, bamboo, and nylons. So it's like a cute little drum carded bat that Sharon made for me. Look at how cute that is. And those beautiful colors. Let me try to get my face out of frame. There we go. Oh, look at that. So pretty. So yeah, it's it's just the most beautiful thing, and thank you so much, Sharon, for sharing generously your stash with me. I'm so happy to know other Asian American, but particularly Taiwanese American knitters and spinners who have been so generous with me. Both Hikari and Sharon just sent me things unprompted, which is so kind, and I really appreciate that. And the last thing I want to share today is a beautiful project bag, and also from Hikari Handmade, and also a beautiful skein of hand spun from her that she's kindly donated for the Knit Diverse Knit Along. So this will be one of the giveaway prizes. And I'm gonna resist opening it, even because it's so beautifully packaged and thoughtfully packaged. I don't want to mess with that and send the winner like a pre-open package. You can see the beautiful hand spun details here. So this will be one of the prizes. I've talked about the Knit Diverse Knit Along before, so I'm just going to go ahead and link the details below. It's a knit along to celebrate people of color and people in the LGBTQIA community in knitting, and it's being run on Instagram. All prizes will be for work in progress only. There will not be any completion prizes. So if you're interested in that and in winning this beautiful package from Hikari Handmade, please take a look at the link below. So I think that's all I have to share today. This is a really hard episode for me to film. It's hard. Be gentle, be gentle, be gentle to your Asian American friends this week. Please. This week and every week. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I don't know if there's anything else to be said. I think one of the things that I hope to do with this podcast is to show that the stories we tell around craft and around knitting and around sewing, they can't be separated from our heritages and the experiences with race and misogyny that we have. Whether it be size inclusivity, because of the way that feminine bodies are judged, because of fat phobia and misogyny, whether it be anti-racism in our community, all of those things cannot be separated from our craft. And I guess all I can do right now is to keep showing up and keep telling my stories in my craft. It feels like such a small thing, but it's something we have to do. The final thing about the Knit Diverse Knit Along that I forgot to mention earlier is that next week's prize will be a beautiful self-striping yarn from Sharon at Studio Pigeon Creek. They have dyed up a beautiful yarn that's basically my perfect self-striping, as well as a beautiful muted purple on a tweed base. I'll be inserting some photos of them here, hopefully somewhere around here. We originally planned to offer only the self-striping for the knit along, as well as a pre-order with a discount, but after the events of this week, we have decided to offer these pre-orders at full price, and 15% of all the proceeds will be going to National Asian Pacific Women's Forum, which is an organization that fights for the rights of Asian American Pacific Islander women and non-binary people in the United States. We're hoping to donate specifically to the national organization for the Atlantic chapter. Sorry, from the Atlanta chapter. Oh, words are very hard today. Because Sharon is in Australia, we'll also be offering combined shipping, a drop shipping rate to my house, and then I'll be shipping out the pre-order yarns to all 48 contiguous states from here. So there's a small shipping discount that can be refunded if you do it that way. I'll link the details below, and hopefully you'll join us, and especially if you're in the Australia region around there and the shipping is more accessible to you, please do support Sharon's work. Again, 15% of all proceeds will go to the National Asian Pacific American Women's Forum. That's all I have for you today. I hope that some of the resources I'm sharing here below will be helpful. I hope that you enjoyed seeing some of what I'm working on today. And yeah, I'll see you next time.